Uncle story time. Things are heating up. In one of my previous posts, I mentioned how we usually don't have any kind of serious activity in our house, and when we do, it is usually neutral or positive. Well, lately things have been heating up a bit. A few nights ago, I was struggling to fall asleep, so decided to do some meditation exercises to get me into the sleep frame of mind. I settled down and began my imaging. Soon enough, I was in that calm state between wakefulness and sleep. Out of the blue, I had an image flash of a woman in her late 40s to early 50s. She had medium/shoulder-length blonde hair with highlights and lowlights. Her face was slightly worn in a way that suggested a life spent mostly outdoors. The image was of a passport-sized photograph of this woman. The photo was held by a male's index finger and thumb. I also received the word Florida. I was immediately awake and very confused. The image made no sense to me. I decided to continue with my meditation to see if I received anything else or if I would fall asleep. I fell asleep. The next morning, I told my husband about the image. I described it all to him exactly. He was interested but couldn't offer any advice or guidance. Later in the day, I was sitting at my PC when I decided on a whim to search the Florida missing persons pages. After a few pages of scrolling and scrolling, I suddenly saw her. The photo was exactly the way I had seen it the night before. The only difference was that it was not being held up by fingers. Her name is Tammy and she is missing from Florida. I will not mention her last name here. I have no idea why I received this image and this word. I don't know what to do with this information or if I can help in any way. I have been trying to receive further images or information through meditation, but I have not had anything else. I am finding this quite distressing. The second incident happened to my husband. He woke up in the middle of the night about 2 weeks ago and decided to have a smoke out the window. Just outside our bedroom window is a wall which encloses an outdoor sitting area with a table and 6 bench seats. There's a large outdoor umbrella in the middle of the table. You can't see over the wall from the bedroom window, but you can see the top of the umbrella. It was a calm night with not even a breeze. My husband said that as soon as he got to the window, he was hit with a wave of uneasiness, and he felt something very threatening was on the other side of the wall, sitting at the table in the sitting area. He said that he can't explain why, but he could feel that there were 3 very dangerous entities sitting at the outdoor table, and that they were aware of his presence and of the fact that he was aware of them. Next thing he knew, he saw the umbrella slowly start turning, as if someone was turning the pole, whilst sitting at the table behind the wall. He quickly put out his smoke, closed the bedroom window, and returned to bed. It took a long time before he was calm enough to fall asleep, and he told me his story first thing in the morning. As I have mentioned in a previous post, we have a number of resident spirits/energies that we get along with just fine. At times I feel that they even protect us in ways we are not aware of. I feel that this was one of those times. I explained to my husband that I feel that our residents were preventing the 3 malevolent spirits/energies from entering the house. That would explain why they were just sitting at the outside table, exuding such angry/dangerous energy. I know that our residents do interact with us intelligently and have even played with a friend of ours who is a serious skeptic. I would love to hear your thoughts on the matter. Story 2, Ready or Not, Here I Come. In a previous post of mine, I wrote about an experience that took place on the farm my mother is living on. Very little has taken place on the property until recently. In February, I took my son out to visit my mother, as we do at least twice a month. He was happily running around the place, smashing molehills, digging holes, climbing trees, the usual things a suburban kid will do when let loose in the wide open. My mother and I were close by, giggling at his shenanigans and chatting about the usual farm things, such as the drought we are experiencing, what to plant where and when, and brainstorming on how to create rain catchment areas for the greenhouses. She wanted to show me her progress with one of our previous ideas down at the last greenhouse. I called out to my son to come with us, but he had found an old rope swing and was too busy having fun, so I told him to not wander off too far. We'd be back in a bit. On our way back up, I was deep in conversation with my mother when out of the corner of my eye, I see movement to my left. I turned my head just in time to see my son duck behind one of the rainwater tanks next to the main house. It couldn't have been more than 3 or 4 meters away from where we were. Thinking he was playing a game of hide and seek, I called out, "Ready or not, here I come," and took a step in that direction. At this exact moment, my son comes running out from around a bush to my right, about 12 meters away from where we were. I stood there with my mouth hanging open, looking from the tank to my son to my mother, in total confusion, saying, "But did you see what?" I suddenly realized that the boy I saw duck behind the tank, although looking exactly like my son, was wearing a blue top, but my son was wearing a red top with the flash on the front. Now I know the little bugger is quick, but there was no way he could have run from behind the water tank while changing his top to one we didn't even have with us and pop out from where he did. My mother just stood there with a bemused look on her face. I asked her if she had seen what I had. She said no, but lately they were experiencing quite a lot of apparitions on the farm, and they all seemed to be happening in an easterly to westerly direction, following the natural underground water system. There is quite a large aquifer below the farm. My mother is of the opinion that the running water below ground has created a path/channel of energy the apparitions are following, or perhaps the energy that is created is allowing them to become more visible. On a side note, not too far from the farm was once a field of battle, Battle of Blauberg, 1806, when the British took the Cape from the Batavian Republic. The battle lasted for 10 days and had a death toll of around 500 men. It is believed by many that some of the souls of those dead soldiers still roam the area. There have been sightings of uniformed men at the original well that was constructed by the soldiers stationed there, and there is still an old fort on the summit of Blauberg Hill. I've been in the fort when it was still open to the public, and can honestly say there was a definite sense of sadness, fear, and defeat in that place.